Hey there, I'm Sarah Zarella, a portrait and wedding photographer and your host for Wedding Secrets Unveiled. This is a podcast where we cut through the complexity of wedding planning, leaving you with everything you need to know directly from the industry experts. If you want to simplify your wedding planning while having fun, of course, you came to the right place. Join me while I guide you through your planning, starting from your engagement to your big day when you say, I do. After photographing for over 20 years, I am sharing with you tips and tricks to cut through the excess noise. Because I believe from the moment you said yes, your planning experience should be a magical time in your life. Here you'll find episodes that are fun, stress-free, and straight to the point with a fresh, honest take on the reality of what you really need to know about planning your perfect day. Let's dive in. Well, welcome back to Wedding Secrets Unveiled podcast, friends. I'm your host, Sarah Zarella, and I have Rachel, who is the owner of Koger Ferro. She is an event planner, and we talk about obviously event planning and wedding planning and how she started her business and why her business is called what it's called, which is a really fun, great story. But in reality, we also start talking a little bit about tips and tricks and trends, and we have some really great stories for you. So if you are planning a wedding or you know someone planning a wedding, no matter where you are at in your wedding planning process, this is a great episode for you. It's really highly entertaining, but also too, you are going to take away some really great golden nuggets and hear about some upcoming trends that are coming down the pipeline. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my episode with Rachel. Well, welcome back to Wedding Secrets Unveiled podcast, friends. I'm your host, Sarah Zarella, and I am joined today with a very special treat. Rachel, can you tell our listeners who you are, who you serve, and what you do in your business?
Maybe? No.
Do you dare?
So my name is Rachel Koger Ferro. I am founder and owner. Well, that's the same thing. I'm founder and head planner of Koger Events. So we serve a blended clientele, and I'm proud of that. I think one of the things that, and I know you've seen this on Instagram, where like different planners are posting like what an average wedding in Newport costs and all of that stuff. And I just think that that's really it can be deflating for clients because that's not everybody's wedding budget, and it's not realistic to put everybody in that bubble in one area. So I'm proud to say that we do work with all different budgets and all different clients, and we go up and down the scale. So we offer three varieties of services. We do coaching with day of. I don't just do like a 60-day out model. I do coaching the entire time that they hire us, and we get to know our clients really, really well. Um, which means that I don't take too many throughout the year. I like to call us a boutique wedding planning company, but um, so we start with day of coordination and coaching, and then we do a partial planning service, and then we do a full service planner. So it's a variety, but yeah, and we go all over the world actually. So we have done events in Portugal. We go across the country. And we're not limited to just weddings, but that's what we market because that's what we do best. But yeah.
Well, that's really great to know because for our listeners, obviously, we know that you guys are all over the country, actually, all over the world. I see behind the scenes of who's listening to us and where you're listening. So we do have people who are international, so that's good. So Rachel is ready to travel to you.
I would
Um,
love to go back to
and
Sintra.
there we go, girl. There we go. So when did you start? And I'm just curious, how did you come up with a name?
So good. I love this question. So, I started my business when I was a teacher. I have a background in special education, which is a common denominator for a lot of planners, believe it or not.
Is it
Yeah,
really?
a lot of my whole team is teachers. It's a seasonal job for them. Like,
What do you think the reason like the psychiatry behind
because
that
we're
is? Like what?
organized. We work with family
Oh,
dynamics. We plan.
yes.
We literally we have to be creative. We have to problem.
And you deal with people. You
Yes,
deal with people.
all the time.
Uh-huh.
Children, which under stress, adults
Uh-huh.
can act like fill in the
Yes.
blanks. So it's It is definitely a job that overlaps a lot. But with teaching, that comes with a whole other kind of stress and not an enjoyable kind. So when I first started my business, I was 1 month sober. I'm a woman in recovery, I like to say, but I was a very severe alcoholic, and I decided I was ruining my life. And I was like, I woke up one day, I call it a God shot out of nowhere. I just woke up and I had this like, oh my God, I need to stop. I'm gonna die. And so the first month that I stopped drinking, I saved $400. And I had this idea driving to a baby shower that I was planning, and I'm like, "Lou, I've always wanted to do this." Lou's my husband now. I'm like, "I've always wanted to do this. What if I tried this? What if I, like, did it?" And he was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool." And we're kind of just, like, shooting these pipe dreams, and I wasn't. I was like, "No, I could do this." So within 2 days, and if you know anything about alcoholism, you're very impulsive. So within 2 days, I registered with the state, and I used my $400 that I saved, and the exact it's the exact same amount to register with the state as a business. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I told you I'm gonna do this." And he's like, "No, no, no. Like, you need a proposal. You can't just start a business." And I'm like, "No, no, no. I feel like this is the right thing to do." And so he said, "No, you need to have a plan." So next day, within 24 hours, beautiful PDF, had it all planned out. It was like I didn't know where all of this was coming from, but it was coming from a place of like faith and trust and
Mhm.
like this is what I needed to do. And so and just background, I also was doing this like on the side for a very long time under the table. So it's not something that I was just like, "Oh, I'm just gonna plan weddings."
No, but it was you going all in and jumping
Yeah,
in. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and so I was like, "My goal is 5 to 10 weddings this year. It's my first year. Let's see what I can do." I booked 18 weddings. We killed it. We got raving reviews. I took whatever I could get, and I ended up that's the year that I booked an international wedding, which I have no idea how I did it, and I don't take any credit for like the series of events that happen because that 100% is my higher power. Whatever you believe in, whether it's fate, God, whatever you want to call it, that is all like that's how I'm here today. Age 27, before I even got sober and knew that I was an alcoholic, I had liver disease and didn't know until 2 years later of stopping drinking. So, which is cured now. So, like, I am a firm believer in, like, my higher power just guiding me on this, but,
When you're on the right path and you're taking the path that is your destiny,
right.
I truly believe that that when people like everything falls into place, it falls into place when you're on your path.
Yes.
That's what I believe. So like the fact that it was $400 and then like that's how much it was to start up, that there's no coincidence there. You're on your path.
Right. And then so to answer the question of how we got our name, during that time, I was trying to fill my time so that I would stay busy, not drink, continue to do the right thing. And I'm making pies and I'm learning Italian and I'm listening to Italian CDs in my car. Yes, 5 years ago I had Italian CDs in my car. And and I wanted to learn the language because I had like the
Oh, FYI, not to interrupt you, but just like on a question about
yeah.
CDs, like I'm right now feel like I'm rocking like 1990 because I there's a book that I want to read, but like I don't read books, right? I'm just severely dyslexic.
I
That's a
have
whole
so
other
much time,
podcast
Sarah.
episode. So like I was like, "Oh, I gotta download this," and like, and then I was like, "You know what? I don't feel like buying the app and then downloading this." I'm like, "I'm just gonna go to the library," and then like they're like, "Oh, here's a book on CD." So like right now, I'm busted out like my CD player. It's like in my room, and I'm listening to a book on CD. I'm like, I feel like it's 1990.
It's true though. It's like nostalgic, but like I still like even with my DVDs and my Blu-rays, like I have all of them. I won't get rid of them. I collect them.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
nerd. I'm a 100% nerd. I have 2 collectible versions of the Twilight Zone, like the original show.
Love that for you.
Love the Twilight Zone. Rod Sterling's a genius. But anyway, so I digress. So I was listening to these CDs in my car, and when I was driving and spitballing this crazy idea to my husband that didn't realize at the time that this was gonna be my future the next day, um, I was just saying all these different words, and then I came up with Cosabella, which is sort of a pun, because it's not, if you know Italian, it's not grammatically correct. It should be cosa belle with an E because it's plural, which means pretty things. But the reason why it's cosa bella is because no two weddings are the same. So your one wedding is beautiful. And that's what the translation is. But it actually means pretty things.
I love
Thank
that.
you.
That's a cool story.
Thank you.
And it's filled with passion and honesty and rawness and just like destiny. So I love it all.
Thank
You're
you.
speaking my love language.
Thank you.
I love it. And so here you are with a full-blown
Yes.
career.
Yeah, I just recently left teaching. So for a long time, I was doing both full-time jobs. Um, and then I was pregnant. I was blessed with my first son, which he's a miracle. Both my kids are miracle babies because we were told that we couldn't have children. So when I had my first son and I found out I was pregnant, I wasn't quite ready to leave teaching yet. So here I am, 9 months pregnant, working a full-time teaching job with severe special ed, and then running after school to these weddings. And not, I felt like Miley Cyrus, like Hannah Montana, like double life. Nobody knows what I'm doing.
I
No
love
one
it.
knew me. Like, no one at school knew I ran a business, and no one at the business knew I was working at school. I was taking calls in, like, corners, and it was a lot, and then, I took maternity leave just to see if I could do it just with the business, and it went great, and I kept extending and kept extending and kept extending, and then I was blessed with my second son, who is pretty much an Irish twin, and I was like, "You know what? I think this is it. Like, I'm just gonna leave." And when I
Mhm.
made that decision, I mean, holy cow, did my world just open up.
Let's talk a little bit about how do you take your style, because obviously you're gonna have a style, right? And make each wedding unique and personal. Because like you said, like it's really important to you that you have diversity and that you open yourself up to all different types of clientele, right? Like it. So how do you make it each event personal?
I test the client on that. You know, I have to quiz them, I have
Okay.
to challenge them. Um, Most clients that I get, if especially if they're going to Rosecliff Mansion, because and we're proud to be a preferred vendor there. It's one of my favorite venues. But a lot of our clientele are people coming from Instagram, and they're seeing this one photo, and everybody wants that same photo, right? Every time a photo goes viral from there. And we can do that and we can help you attain that. But your guest experience is not going to be awesome if you are just fabricating a photo for your wedding. So I always challenge my clients to think about what makes you two uniquely you. Even if we're incorporating it on a napkin, what makes you you? What's something that we can tie into the day that you get excited about that your guests will love? I think a lot of times people are like, the guest experience is a big, big thing, especially right now. And it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a trend because it's important that your guests enjoy it, but it almost is becoming like over the top, right? For a little while it was anyway.
I'm only looking for the people who are watching on YouTube. You just saw me point to my producer, Dan. We literally were just talking about this. Just talking about this before we went on air is that when you've been doing weddings for a living, right? You see so many different weddings, and it's very rare for the wedding not to be unique.
Right.
Okay. So when people come and they lead with, I want my wedding to be unique, like, it's just sometimes it's getting to the point where it's over the top. Newsflash, I don't like to say this, and I don't want to burst anybody's bubbles, but we're being real. We're unveiling everything, right? it's been done. It's I have not seen something yet that hasn't been. I mean, and if I have seen it for the first time, the wedding right after it's doing
Yes.
it. It's like it's very rare that something is unique and done because there's so much beauty out there and there's so much uniqueness and there's so many talented vendors and there's just so much that you can do. Like we're talking about the Rose Cliff, right? Like you can walk into the Rose Cliff and you could be there one weekend and then the next wedding you're there and it's totally different vibe, right? But you're still the same place. And that venue curates like the kind of the same like Gilded Age Renaissance. So like, but what I'm trying to say is we were just talking about this. It's very rare that what you're doing is unique. It could be unique to you, but what you need to do is you need to find out like what's real to you.
Yes.
Right? Instead of being unique.
Right.
What's real to you? Because it's starting to become like people are trying to become too different that they're not even being authentic anymore.
No, you're there. And you've seen it. I've seen it again, right? Trends.
We're forgetting sometimes some of the traditional reasons and like there's trends and then there's balance and there's classic elements and those classic elements are there because they work.
Yeah.
They work.
Well, I always say that like there's cliches because for a reason. They're cliches for a reason. But yeah, no, I think like I 100% agree with you. You can't be all in on yourselves, but you also can't be all in on your guest experience. And spoiler alert, guest experience is based on you and what you like. That's when your guests enjoy it the most. They want to see
Mm-hmm.
things that reflect you. That's how you make.
You.
And I've had
Yep.
that question before. How do I make this a unique guest experience? By incorporating you into the day. Whether that's a takeout pizza box with takeout pizza that has your names on it. I don't know, whatever. Or maybe that's your favorite snack and you don't even have to do like a sticker or something, but like something that reflects you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, these people who are in the room for you, they love you and they know you and like they want to be there for you. So like you said, like and and then also too, there's like that delicate balance of wedding trends and classic elements that never go out of style. I'm just curious of like putting you on the hot seat right now. Like what is okay? Putting in the hot seat. What is a wedding trend that you love right now that you're feeling, you're vibing with? And then what is something that's just a classic element that when you're trying to create a unique experience and keep it personal for them, but like you really would love for them to still do?
Hmm.
I know. Mm-hmm. Do, 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 do.
Okay. Trends that I like. Honestly, trend that I like is only the couple being announced, introduced when you walk into the room. I do like that. I like that
Mm-hmm.
no one else is being in the spotlight in that moment. I think it's
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. And kind of like that can go hand in hand. Like I still like the couple being introduced because I am seeing
yeah.
sometimes people not yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
100% agree. I think the couple has to be introduced into the reception.
It sets a vibe. It elevates the vibe.
I know people don't like being on the spotlight, but then don't have a big wedding. That's what you're doing.
Mhm,
When you
mhm,
have a wedding, you agree that you're gonna be the spotlight for
mhm.
for the 6 hours, so but I definitely love that trend. I wish that more people would I wish that more people would incorporate their family a little bit more in other elements. Like, I'm seeing a lot of traditional things cut out, and I think I wish that a little bit of that tradition came back because there's a lot of meaning behind it.
I'm in agreement with you because I think when you do this every weekend, right? You start to see a lot. And though it's cool and unique to cut out some of the traditional elements or let's say classic elements, they're there for a reason because there's so much meaning. And I feel like we're cutting too much of the fat. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Um, so I'm with you. So with that said, before we take our break, tell me a classic element that you like, that you want to just kind of, keep.
I have the best photos of my grandparents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents, and they all have that cake cutting photo. And I mean, back in the day, they didn't have like mansion weddings. I mean, my grandparents got married in their homes and they had their receptions in their homes. And so they have this
Mhm.
long, like, table with everyone around it, and she's got her beautiful dress and her curls, and she's cutting her cake with her husband, and it just looks so classic and classy. He's got his
Mhm.
tux, and it's just it's my favorite picture.
I also have seen people now, when you were kind of going off of like incorporating families, they're bringing up each side of the family, parents, and maybe grandparents next to them when they're cutting the cake. Great photo
Love
moment,
that.
right? And you're incorporating family. All right. Well, anyway, with that said, let's take a quick break, right? And when we get back, let's talk a little bit about some funny, unexpected challenges and moments. And I think we were chatting a little before we went on air about an email that you got. So we're, cliffhanger, people. All right. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come right back.
All right.
I appreciate you being here. And hey, if you like what you're hearing, I encourage you to check out our website at sarahzarella.com. And don't forget, you can actually subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening so you never miss an episode. And I would so appreciate if you left a fabulous review on Apple Podcast. Even better, share it with a friend. It's a great way to show your support. And now, let's get back to the episode. Welcome back to Wedding Secrets Unveiled podcast, friends. I'm here with my girl Rachel, and we were talking a little bit about wedding planning and how she got into it and just kind of the trends versus the classic elements and just creating a day that is yours and also elevating the guest experience. But let's get into a little bit about, let's just get into some stories. Let's, talk to me a little bit about some funny or unexpected challenges or moments that you've had during a wedding day as a wedding planner.
Well, I don't know if it's funny. I mean, it's funny now, but um, so, and you know this being you're I mean, you've been doing this for a while, photography for weddings, right? How many years, if you want to say? You're seasoned.
Seasoned, seasoned.
But you know that when you have an in with a vendor or a venue, especially venues, and you have good relationships, you value those, right? Like you value those. And I had a really great relationship with a very prestigious venue. And I I almost hesitate to say venue because I had a relationship with the person running the venue. And she left. And when she left, the venue suffered tremendously because the people that were there and are there don't necessarily like to do weddings. So when they lose that person, they lose what people hired. I mean, they didn't realize it, but they were hiring the person and not the venue. And with that, all your vendors suffer too, because now that relationship is no longer a two-way street, it's a one-way street where you value them and they don't value you anymore. So w- the the challenge really was like mid-season, full-blown like August wedding. Um and this couple, I hadn't heard from them a couple of months after their wedding, and the venue, the day of the wedding, was really disorganized. The person that they had fill in for this person that was not replaceable, didn't fix the orders that we had emailed about back and forth, so there weren't enough plates. So I'm sending my staff all the way to Warwick to go pick up like decorative plates for this very expensive wedding. And now I'm short help, right? So I'm trying my best to be 7 different people. And I honestly think we did a great job, but I was behind the scenes. My team did an amazing job because we got compliments from everyone, family, couple, like the team did great. Um, but when I spoke to the venue about my concerns, I almost felt gaslit because they were saying how it was on me. They weren't sure what I was responsible for because I'm a planner, and they weren't sure, like the things that I was saying, like that I was concerned about, like orders weren't confirmed, and the venue person was disappearing for, I don't know, half hours at a time, like 30 minutes at a time. Or I asked her for chairs for the performers about 6 times and they never came, so we had to run to ceremony and go bring those really quickly before everybody got back from cocktail hour. Like, things like that were happening over and over and over again. Assigned seating was incorrect. I had to fix that about 4 or 5 times. Giant divots in the grass. Somebody was going to break their ankle, we had to get those filled in. Like, it was insane, especially for a venue of the status. So all day we're putting out all these fires. We're working constantly, and even leading up to that, we were working constantly because I had to triple check every single piece of paperwork that came in. And again, it wasn't even correct. So when I called the venue to place my concerns because I value them, they pretty much told me that I was the problem and that they don't care to work with me anymore. And my heart was broken and I was angry. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. This venue is known for their food. Okay. Like, that
Mhm.
is one of the highest things that they do. And our clients paid
It's a
for,
five. Okay, so you gave me because I'm just in the industry enough that I know what venue you're talking about. It's a 5-star.
yes,
Yes, it's a 5-star like culinary
yes.
venue.
And no, this is the best part. This is the best part because they're a 5-star culinary. And my client paid for vendor meals, and guess what they gave us?
Uh, Sandwiches,
Oh, they ordered pizza at 1 o'clock because we saw it come in, and they served it to us at 9.
and they paid for your vendor meals.
And when I addressed it, because the band was like, "Well, I'm not gonna eat this," and now my client is going to have to deal with this because they're not getting fed, and that's in their contract for 10 people. Um, I'm not gonna let that happen, so I spent $500 of my own money to get them food down the street and spent, once again, another planner of mine to go get their dinner. And I offered to buy it for photographers and videographers, and whoever needed food, they were gonna get it from me because I wasn't gonna give them 9-hour-old cold pizza. And when I went to the chef and said, "I've never had this happen. We've had weddings here so many times." He said, "Well, I've never had anybody complain about free food." And I just walked away and I was extremely insulted, kept my composure, but I was just so offended. And all this time, I'm thinking, well, I'm saving the day today because if I wasn't here, this would be awful. So, shocking to my surprise, a couple months later, I get an email after checking in with the client because the venue were telling me how when I was complaining, they said, "Oh, well, funny enough, the couple was very unhappy with you." And I said, "Well, why would they be unhappy with me? What was shared about me?" And what I think happened was the venue and all their shortcomings.
Pinned it on you.
Yep. And so when they answered the email, it was interesting actually because the bride hired me, but the husband was the only one emailing me, which I thought was odd because I don't even think the bride was on the response, and I didn't work with
Mhm,
the husband, so that was weird to me as well. Um,
mhm.
but it was like that kind of email where your gut just turns. I cried for about 4 days. Like, I was so upset. It was pretty much him saying, "I wish I was involved because I wouldn't have chosen you, and, all your assistants were great, but you were awful, and we felt like the entire process, you were just lacking and didn't help us." And I was like, every meeting like 2-hour meetings, sometimes 3-hour meetings, meeting them in Boston, even though their wedding's in Newport. I mean, over and beyond for them. A year and a half in advance working with them, like a whole year and a half. Yes, you weren't always the first priority. I did have other weddings, which he said was insulting that I said that at one point, like that they're not my only wedding, or I have a lot of weddings before this. So this one is, we don't need to work on this right now. And I think that ties into something we'll touch on about like trusting your vendors and trusting the.
Yes.
But the thing is, after every meeting, after every single talk I have, my follow-up emails ask, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Every email that started for a reminder for a check-in said, I hope the planning process is going well. So all of those opportunities in a year and a half, and this is the first time I'm hearing that you were unhappy the entire process, doesn't really add up. And if it does, I feel like, dare I say it, I'm not the problem.
Yeah.
Because I gave them a whole year and a half to tell me. I was so honest with them, and I worked with them, and I designed with them, and they have no idea the amount that I did behind the scenes constantly, not just the wedding day, but leading up to it without my person there, just trying to save it and save it and save it. Like they have no idea. And
Mm-mm.
that email really, really shattered me. um it shattered me. I mean, like I was like, maybe I shouldn't even do this anymore. And then of course I got myself back up and I was like, oh my God, stop. Like, look at the 58 5-star reviews on your website. And then like I'm fine, but so hurtful. So hurt.
Yeah, especially when you put your heart and soul into everything. And we at the end of the day, we're dealing with people. We're dealing with an emotional day. We're dealing with a lot of money, a lot of moving parts. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry that happened to
It's
you.
okay. It happens
Um,
unfortunately to all of us.
you brought up a good point though, and that was trusting your
Yes.
vendors, right? And your team that you're building.
Yes. Trust your vendors. Like, I have so many clients that, and I love when they get excited and they want to jump ahead and they want to do all these things, but there are certain things you cannot do this early. It's not that
Mm-mm.
I'm not doing my job. It's that we don't need to do this right now, or we can't do this right now, or you're just jumping ahead and I haven't gotten there yet, but I will, that kind of thing. And most of my clients do trust the process. And some of them say, like, I have this one, I love her so much. I love all my clients, but I love her so much because she's always like, I did all my checklists. It's so satisfying. Do you just have like a little bit more homework that I'm like, yeah, I'll assign you some tasks we can do right now, but some of them we cannot, like it's just impossible. And I think that trusting who you're working with and how the process works is so, so, so important for mental health,
Mm-hmm.
for pockets, because a lot of times clients will make foolish decisions financially and then realize after that they shouldn't have done that.
Mm-hmm.
That happens a lot. But yeah, I 100%. Like, if you don't feel comfortable with the person that you're hiring, don't hire them. They might be great, but they're not for you.
I was just on a phone call the other day with a bride, and she was like totally transparent, which I appreciate, and didn't lead with this, but through the conversation ended up telling me that she has a photographer. She's booked this photographer, but has just been like a little uneasy about her decision. And when she didn't tell me the photographer's name, nor did I ask, doesn't matter. Didn't tell me why. All it mattered was that she's feeling she needs to open up her search, right?
Yes.
So that tells me that she didn't make the right choice. This other photographer might be the right choice for someone else, but it's clearly not for her. It came down to the fact that the photographer was obviously priced right, but came with less experience. Like she was sensing
Yeah.
that the photographer hasn't done many weddings. And listen, we've all started somewhere, but I just think on her particular wedding, that wasn't the right wedding to be starting, right? This is an elevated wedding at an elevated venue that the lighting is quite difficult, to be honest with you, as a photographer. So, I mean, as a photographer, when she told me the venue she was getting married at, as a seasoned photographer, even to me, I was like, wow, that's a tough venue to shoot at, right? Because it's full sun. It's full sun. It's full sun. Yeah, harsh lighting. So if a seasoned photographer is fine, they know how to manipulate it and everything like that. But anyway, long story short, those feelings are okay to have, and you got to follow those feelings, So, she knew it was time to start her search, I guess, again. But with that said, you also have to go on the other side of the coin, go with the feeling of like, this is the right choice for me. This person does this. Let me trust my higher, I guess is the point, right? Yeah. So let's switch it a little bit, right? Let's go back to what we were talking about before the break. And I know we were talking about a little bit about trends, right? And cultivating a style that's like true to you and just like keeping things sometimes the classic versus the trends. Overall, right? And here I am putting you in the hot seat again as an event planner. And we're seeing the pipeline because right now we're planning the 2026 and then we're also planning the 2027. So we have a scope of like a year to 2 years in advance, right? What are you seeing and I only say this because for our listeners, there's always a running theme, right? Like for some reason, every year there's always that's what we're trying to say. It's like not everything is always unique. It should be unique to you guys, but it's not always unique. What are you seeing the running theme going on right now? And it could be anything. It's an open-ended question. It could be colors. It could be an actual item there. Like, how like yeah.
Okay. One of the weirdest themes that I'm seeing is primary colors. People are loving primary colors. They're so bold.
Which is ironic because the Pantone color is white, which is lack of color.
It's not, no. And I know, what did they call it though? It wasn't white. It was like cloud.
Oh, cloud.
And I look at it and I'm like, that's white. So you're telling me it's white.
Yeah, I mean, cloud, but I mean, in reality though, it is the absence of color, right? So so my point is that's interesting. So you're seeing color, primary
colors. Like I'm seeing full on gold yellow or full on blue, like regal blue, or I'm seeing regal red, which we just did a style shoot at, right? Like super vibrant, super statement, bold, but that's what I'm seeing. But I think it's so weird that it's the primary colors.
Interesting. See, the funny thing is, it's like you see it first because you're planning, and I'm going to come on scene. I'm going to start taking pictures. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're going to notice it. And the biggest thing right now is draping.
Oh, yes. Interesting. So it's draping right now. Okay. Because that's what I was wondering, like, because I know that we just, everybody was doing the green hedge wall, right?
Oh, yeah. Green is the other one. That's not a primary, but green is a big color this year for everything, like house design and everything this year.
Well, I'm just saying, I love the color. Like, let's bring the color in. Let's bring it.
I do too.
I'm inviting it. I'm inviting it back in. So it's time. Oh, wait. No, before our final question, what's your wedding hot take?
Don't listen to anyone except yourself.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to anyone.
Love that.
That's it. Don't listen. I tell people that all the time. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Don't listen. And I actually sometimes will have my clients bring whoever's giving them trouble into the meeting so that I can like mediate like a therapist. But it's because then we all end up on the same page.
I love that. There you go.
And we get what the client wants.
Yeah. But invite the process.
I mean, I'm not a therapist, but maybe a wedding one.
Yes, maybe. I mean, I'm sure as an event planner, you put that cap on.
Oh my God. Family dynamics is huge. And that's another thing that overlaps with teaching. Family dynamics, having those hard discussions. I mean, all the time.
So it's time for my wrap-up question, a 3-point wrap-up question. What are some key points that couples should be asking their event planners when they're inquiring, right? To make sure that they're going to be working with a professional company to ensure that their wedding day is perfect. So what are some key points that they should be asking their event planners to make sure that they're legit and professional and the right choice for them?
Okay. Well, what does the leading up process look like? So even if it's a day of how far out in advance are you going to be communicating, and is there a limit on that? Um,
Good one.
Definitely wanna know that. Um, is it full day coverage? Are you only coming
Oh,
for, like, mid-morning to after dancing and then you leave? Or will you have full day coverage, start to finish, hair and makeup to packing up and grabbing my cards?
that's a good one. And what's your third? Those are good for the
Thank
listeners.
you.
Those are good. Yeah.
How many people will be there the day of? Because it's not a one-person job. You definitely want a team. And you can have 3 people on a team. It doesn't have to be a huge team, but you want more than one person.
More than one person. I like that. So I just want to thank you so much for being on this episode of Wedding Secrets Unveiled. You helped all of our listeners, right? And you entertained them and you had them one step closer to a stress-free wedding planning process. Just tell everybody where they could find you.
I on Instagram at Cosabella Events. We have a website, cosabellaevents.com. Um, I mean, we're all over.
Fair.
We're hopefully gonna
Fair.
go viral. Let's go
I love
viral,
that for you,
Sarah.
Rachel. I'll come with you.
I'm taking you with me.
um, and what I'll do for our listeners is I'll have Rachel's information on our episode show notes, which you can find on my blog, which is sarahzarella.com/wedding podcast. You can find us on YouTube. You can see Rachel right on YouTube, and definitely go check her out. And in the meantime, I just want to thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Wedding Secrets Unveiled. I appreciate you being here. And hey, if you enjoyed this episode, I want to tell you something. I encourage you to check out our website at sarahzarella.com. We love photographing while having fun, of course. Check out our podcast page on our website for our show notes along with upcoming episodes with your local wedding experts. Listen in as we help you plan your epic event. And don't forget that you can actually subscribe to this podcast wherever you are listening so you never miss an episode. I would so appreciate if you left a review for us on Apple Podcasts. Even better, share it with a friend. It's a great way to show your support and let us know what you think. If you know any wedding experts that would like to be a guest, we have a link directly on our website where they can let us know. Thank you for listening.